We're live.
Hello. Welcome to another very fascinating episode of Violent Wrestling Podcast. And no, don't check the calendar. You haven't lost your mind. It's Friday. Some things came up where we missed Wednesday, tried doing it again yesterday, and now we're doing it today. As always, I'm joined by my cohort in crime, the one, the only Ambrose Alley, and also Mr. Ruthless Aggression himself, Mr. Metal Matt.
Hey,
And a very special Friday night guest, Mr. Cleveland himself, Mr. Adam Rice.
What's up? It's 30 degrees outside. It's cold. I don't like any of this.
Raise your hand if you're actually sitting outside doing the podcast in the cold. Because I'm raising my hand because it is freezing as hell.
How cold is it where you are?
Right now we're at 31.
Ah, piss, you're warm.
Well, it's not that cold. I mean, for here, it's cold. But it's not that cold. I can handle it. But
We're at 24.
oh,
We're at 34, and it's according to the weather, it feels like 21. So
yeah. See, I don't know what the feel like temperature is here. The wind chill thingy.
We're lucky. I don't think we have much of a wind chill right now.
Matt's probably down there sitting in 70-degree warmth.
I don't know how the temperature is here.
Have you had to put on a jacket this year?
At times, yeah.
the fact that you had to think about it makes me hate you.
So how has everybody's week been?
I think it's been
Besides
pretty
cold
good
as
for
shit.
the most part.
Week's been fine. Of course, with the major events of this week, Tuesday, got through that pretty well. Just work as it always is.
I know Matt has some big news. I don't know if he wants to divulge it on a wrestling podcast or not, but Matt got some pretty awesome news this week.
What would that be?
Oh, for the love of God. He even set you up for it, and you refused to swing up the pitch.
Jackass.
Okay, I guess he's not going to divulge it. We can move on.
It's
Yeah. Well, it's sort of the reason why there wasn't a Ruthless Aggression era podcast today. I ended up landing a job this week, so
Woohoo!
woohoo.
yay.
Yeah, welcome to the working world. You will never leave it.
Your life sentence begins now, sir.
So, what do you guys want to jump into first?
Well, let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. Unless anybody else had anything else happen this week that they want to talk about.
Nope.
Hey,
Well, we'll save the news for later. We'll end on a happy note since we got to go into the elephant in the room.
yeah, let's not talk about dislocating shoulders or anything. How you feeling, by the way?
Oh, I feel pretty good.
Good. So, and before we get started into the context of, if you're listening at work or you have kids around, put earbuds in or something, because this isn't gonna be pretty. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either you have earbuds in or you don't give a flying fuck. And that's how I feel about this event that happened this past Friday afternoon, called Crown Jewel. The only reason I'm going to bring it up is because a couple of title changes happened, which makes me even more pissed off. Why the fuck are we putting the Universal Championship back on motherfucking Brock Lesnar?
Because Brock Lesnar is Vince McMahon's 6'6", 280-pound safety blanket. It's what he is. The second that the Roman had to drop the belt, Vince panicked because he lost the face of his company. And the only thing he could do in his mind was go to a sure thing. And to him, that's Brock. I don't know why it's Brock, but it's Brock.
Well, Vince, I defend you a lot, but you're fucking stupid. I get it. I don't need any of the. I think I can run $1 billion company better than he can. Like, that's not the point. The point is, fuck Brock Lesnar, fuck everything about him, fuck what he does to the whole roster while he has the championship. Fuck it all. We just ended this bullshit, and here we go again.
And he's going to have it until WrestleMania.
That's another ties into this. After Crown Jewel, we hear a report that Brock Lesnar has indeed signed through WrestleMania 35. Fuck that noise too.
I don't. They turned Braun babyface on Raw to set up this match, and it's a 3-minute squash. Well, first of all, that irreparably damages Braun Strowman. How am I supposed to take him seriously? He just got murked by Brock.
Hey, you got one offensive kick in.
Congratulations. He might as well just be permanently tagging with Alexa Bliss for anything he's good for. Because this, if it were me, and I don't want to go too far into a fantasy book situation, but if it were me coming out of the Roman announcement, I would have had Drew jump Braun and have it become a triple threat. The crowd is already salivating over Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
I would have belted him at Crown Jewel. I know it's super early.
Or if nothing else, like, don't belt anybody at Crown Jewel and get a month, maybe even all the way to TLC tournament out of it.
Right.
Either crown somebody at Summer or Survivor Series, or you can even milk it to TLC.
Or
heading into Royal Rumble
have Drew interfere at least, declare it a no contest, and hold up the belt, so at least that way Braun doesn't come out of it looking like a geek.
Yeah, and you get the visual of Drew holding up the belt, and
you can go into his story.
Yeah. Show of hands, did anybody actually watch Crown Jewel? I know we didn't. Did you, Rice?
No.
I didn't watch it either.
I mean, there's so little to really talk about here. I mean, I know there were
talk about, just not wrestling related stuff.
Well, no, I mean, guys, we had a World Cup tournament with nothing but Americans that ends with Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Miz gets hurt, and they replace him with Shane McMahon, who wins the World Cup tournament.
And apparently it was Shane McMahon turning heel.
The wheel is spinning and the hamster is dead.
The hamster got taken out to pasture a long time ago.
No, you know what happened? The hamster saw Shane McMahon win the World Cup and voluntarily just jumped out of the cage. It couldn't take it anymore.
He took a Hell in a Cell bump. Jump off the top of the cage.
Well, we had that. We had
That was just another stupid. Going into it, like, it was stupid to begin with, and then the outcome was. And I forget where I saw it. Somebody put up, this was Shane's first singles win in 12 years, and he's the best in the world.
Do you guys? I know I didn't think about it until just now, but do you guys think they had Shane win that because best in the world used to be CM Punk's moniker? This is another dig at Punk.
A lot of people have said that. I don't really think so. There's even so far as, was it a dig at Punk and Jericho?
I mean, yes, it's very far-fetched, but they're not above that stupid shit.
They're not. Hey, how overjoyed are you for Brock being champion? I know you're giddy.
Yes, I'm so giddy. I'm jumping up and down and doing cartwheels right now.
Oh,
you
that's
sure do
just
keep
the alcohol talking.
Matt, what about you and this wonderful new Brock reign?
Why? Just why? I mean, why Brock? Like, come on. Like, they're back to square one with this. It's like literally anybody else would be better than this. You know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you know what? I'd rather have Jinder Mahal as champion. Because at least he's a full-time guy.
Would you go as far to say you prefer The Miz over this?
Honestly, yeah. It's not easy for me to say that, but...
Damn.
Because, again, he is full-time.
At least The Miz generates real heat.
Debatable.
Okay. to us normal people, he generates real heat. Brock, just nothing. The fans are apathetic now. This whole saga with Brock has actually managed to get the Smarks to become apathetic to him.
Yeah.
Because no one reacts to Brock. There isn't a soul. Because they're like, okay, fine. I mean, for all
any more like the Brock supporter or the, oh, I'm so happy, that is more in a contrarian way than an actual happy. It's like people just want to see the world burn down,
For all that Brock brings with his legitimacy as a shoot fighter, does not balance out all that he takes away from only being there 5 nights a year.
Hey, but he's supposed to be there this upcoming Monday, bouncing around.
Goody.
Simon Turk talks.
I mean, this guy would rather be in the octagon than be in the ring. We know this. And on top of that, we know he'd rather be back at his farm in Saskatchewan than be anywhere near either. But as long as they keep backing up that Brinks truck, he's going to keep doing it. Folks, please stop paying Brock money. He will go away if you refuse to pay him.
And I don't see how you can. There was a time, yes. I don't even see how you can call Brock a draw anymore if he, never does house shows. People aren't, like, if he's not at the house show, people are already, like, showing up for the pay-per-views and have the network. And WWE doesn't care if you tune into the pay-per-view or not, as long as you're paying that $9.99 a month. He doesn't put a spike in USA ratings. I mean, it's just a failed endeavor at this point, where he's not a failed endeavor, him with the Universal Championship and him being the center of the Bad Pun universe. It's just dumb.
And it would almost be the worst story coming out of this thing if we didn't have the octogenarian tag match. I know they're not octogenarian peoples, but my God, they move like it. Main event that happened afterward. Everything about this pay-per-view screams Vince McMahon's fantasy book. Think about it.
Did you guys see the picture of Triple H?
Yeah.
His tricep after Crown Jewel?
It was his pec.
Or I said, his pectoral muscle. Yeah, that looked gnarly as. Kudos to that dude for at least trying to finish the match.
He works hurt no matter what.
Yeah. That looked bad.
Remember, this is a guy who's blown both his quads and continued in the match. Blew out his calf. He's torn a pec. Never mind all the other odds of broken bones and bruises. Say what you want about Triple H, the worker, the executive, the person. At the end of the day, the dude is one of the toughest dudes in the ring.
He's no like old Sin Cara. Well, I'm broken nail.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm broken nail. Got to quit the match. That's the other real news coming out of this is Triple H had to have surgery for a torn pec and in jeopardy of missing WrestleMania 35.
Which I'm sorry he got hurt, but I'm not going to complain about Triple H missing through WrestleMania 35.
Unless it would have been a Batista Triple H feud.
Yeah, but even then, it's too. I don't want us to be this guy, but that is two part-time workers taking up a spot at WrestleMania.
At least they're not going. At least they're getting it out of the way in one match. Not going against.
I think this might up the idea that they bring Rocky back. But I don't see that happening. But no. I think this puts the idea back in their head.
I don't see it happening. Again, the idea's been in their head. I just don't see it happening. But just last thing, really because nothing else really happened at Crown Jewel. I saw clips of the old people match, the main event. It was bad, and you found out later some of it was because H hurt, but like Kane getting his mask kicked off was mid match was funny as hell. Like it was just.
It says something about those four guys that the best worker in the ring was Shawn Michaels after being away for nearly a decade and having lost the step. None of them need to be in the ring. Kane needs to go be a mayor. Taker needs to go home.
Triple H needs to be an executive.
He has a damn he's running developmental.
Yeah.
Shawn's helping him run developmental.
Yeah. And Shawn just needs to train.
I don't care if it looks like Shawn can still go. He doesn't need to. People keep saying, "Oh, I want to see Shawn versus AJ." I don't. What would be the point? Because at the end of the day, Shawn's going over. So
there is one scenario that's been floated out there. Shawn versus Taker, and this is again two part-timers get it out of the way in one match at WrestleMania 35 in a everybody retires after this match.
You mean, can we call it the Old Yeller match? Because I
Sure.
would take both of them back behind the barn and do what needs to be done if I have to. I have
And his Twitter account, ladies and gentlemen, is at PWFan01.
You can bite me.
Send all the
It's
hate mail his
amazing.
way.
It's amazing coming out of this pay-per-view how different it feels in comparison to Evolution, which was just 2 weeks ago.
Evolution was so great.
Everyone felt happy, just this swell of pride, and I don't think I've seen the fans as a collective feel that good coming out of a pay-per-view in a long time. And then you follow it up with Crown Jewel, which leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, on top of the political ramifications and the international ramifications.
Yeah, I mean, you put that pay-per-view in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on a Sunday night, and same thing happened. Like, it was a bad pay-per-view. Like, it didn't
But at
matter.
least it would only be a bad pay-per-view. This is
Oh, I get
something
that. I'm
else
just saying, like,
entirely.
It wasn't just the setting and the everything going on. It was a bad pay-per-view. Again, haven't watched it, just read. Shout out to Reverend Claire for doing great play-by-play so I can read along what's happening. And
Thanks for biting that bullet for us,
Yes.
so we didn't have to.
In fact, it might not have been her. It might have been Sean. Rev still needs all the props for what she does. I don't feel like watching at 3:00 in the morning, New Japan, and I'll just follow along to her doing play-by-play. She's really good at it. Any other things? Shut up, Adam.
Sorry.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Hey, Matt, anything to add to Crown Jewel?
Not really.
On to Raw we go.
Raw, it happened.
Next.
Hold on, I need to drink some bleach or something to get the taste of Crown Jewel out of my mouth.
There isn't enough liquor in the world.
Yeah, Raw.
Raw. Before we dive deep into Raw, it's related to Raw. Your guys' reaction to the announcement just this week that the famous 15-minute overrun is no more.
I don't like it.
Okay, let me ask you, why don't you not like this news? And what would you do differently?
I was going to let them answer, and then we can all.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I think they should take an extra hour off of that as well. But I mean, I really think Raw really needs an overrun anyway. I think 3 hours is more than enough.
I agree with Matt on this one.
Okay, here's why I don't like it. Because we've seen too many times on SmackDown with a hard end time that the last segment didn't go right. It was either rushed or, I like the overrun. I agree with Matt, like that last hour can go, but even if it's 2 hours, like leave yourself some leeway. Like don't have a hard cutoff.
I do want to point out that they've announced this cut of the 15 minutes, which starts next week, by the way. At the same time as they are debuting a new reality show on the network on the USA on on the 13th. Now, I understand that that's a Tuesday to a Monday, but I can guarantee that the two are related.
Do you know the name of this reality show?
It's do you guys remember years ago on the USA had a reality show called Nashville Star?
Oh yes.
I think so.
Vaguely.
This is basically a reboot of that premise under a different name.
The Nashville
It's-
Star was like American Idol, but for country singers, basically.
Yes, this is basically the same thing that they're going to do. It's essentially the same exact premise. American Idol for country music.
That sounds horrifying.
Um,
Oh,
wife thought she, go ahead.
go ahead, you first. It's your
Oh
show.
well, regarding Nashville Star, my wife thought she was gonna love it because this was like during peak
American
American
Idol.
Idol. Yeah, and she watched one episode. She likes her country music sometimes. She's not like all. She's very eclectic in her music taste, but anyway, watched one episode. And nope, not doing
Yeah.
that.
That Nashville Star did launch some careers of people you might have heard of today. I don't want to get into that, but that's just a nugget. This show looks to be the same thing. They drug out. They landed Shania Twain to be a judge. They landed Travis Tritt to be a judge. I believe Thomas Red is also going to be a judge. But like I said, I think these two events are related. They don't want that overrun to affect the DVRs of people recording things. It's not like
Yeah.
USA has had anything worth recording here recently.
Right.
All apologies to Mr. Chrisley, but your show sucks, dude.
God, I can't stand that show. I can't stand him. Like, oh.
But
Yeah, I'm just for the simple fact. I mean, Raw's too long as it is. But
yes,
just for the simple fact of if other segments run over, like I don't want the ending to be like Taker at SmackDown 1000, where that I'm pretty safe in saying they were running out of time and he literally rest in peace. Bye.
I think I understand why they're doing it. I probably won't miss it in 3 months from now. But
It'll
really,
be telling.
the overrun was there, so WWE had something they could differentiate themselves from WCW. Remember how WCW Nitro always ended?
Yes. Tony Schiavone has made a living off of Nitro going off.
And folks, we're out of time.
Well, the tapes will be rolling. We're out of time. See you next week. We'll let you know what happens then. And then you left.
It'll take a week or two to see the effects of the final segment.
And honestly,
Especially if it's a match where you can tell like the match is being rushed, or like a promo can be shortened rather easily, but a match.
They what that 15 minutes was for was so that way they could say, you won't miss anything.
Yeah.
Our show will run over so you can see the result. They don't need that now. And
No.
by the way, your show is 3 hours long. You shouldn't be having overrun problems. If your writers were any good, I'm sorry, I hate to say it. If your creative team was any good, you should be able to lay out a 3 hour block of time, have everything run smoothly, and be able to deliver your product. They haven't been able to do that at all.
Couple things did actually happen on Raw. SmackDown. Seth Rollins was forced into a handicap match to defend the tag titles. He was going to relinquish them, and Baron said, "Nope, can't do that. You're in a handicap match against AOP." And that match happened. No Dean and Authors of Pain are your new tag team champions.
Anybody want to take this?
What?
I mean, at least the titles are on a proper tag team here. It just sucks that it just kind of happened this way.
Yeah, that was
Hopefully
my
there's
side.
going to be. Hopefully there'll be more of a focus going forward on the tag teams, like on more proper tag teams and AOP in general and stuff like that. So it's promising that they're on there. I would have gone a different path personally, but it's on an actual tag team now. So hopefully there will be a bit of a better path going forward for the tag team division on Raw.
Yeah, I just like you. That's why I side. I didn't want it to happen like this. Like I'm kind of happy that it's on AOP, just not this way.
Mm-hmm.
I have to wonder whether or not AOP getting the belts was in the cards all along.
I think so, because they were building AOP up for a while now.
It sucks. I think a part of the bad taste in my mouth is that this is all off the heels of Roman's announcement.
Yeah,
And it was used as a catalyst for this. It's a semi-creative way to get the belts over to AOP. But, like I said, there's still a bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
Hey, what about our Dean?
I'm loving him. I am loving him so much. They finally got him and Seth in the right alignments.
Seth is a nuclear babyface right now. And Dean is the dirtiest of dirty fucking heels. And it works. And Dean doesn't have to talk. I actually don't want him to talk. Just keep dropping Seth on his head. Because people are eating that up. They want this explanation. And I want Dean to say, you don't deserve an explanation. You don't know what I'm going through right now.
Yeah,
And I like people keep. The one thing I also hope they don't do, please don't involve Renee in this.
Oh no! Please don't! Please don't!
Yeah.
Don't
And they
break
were
that.
sort of doing it on a Raw there, and I don't know, it didn't quite work. I don't think.
Just no, don't.
Don't talk about it. Don't bring it
Yeah.
up. We know who she is. We know who she's married to.
Yeah,
She-
they have
she-
touched on. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, she doesn't need to be providing any catalyst to this storyline.
No,
Dean
she
and
doesn't need to
Seth are
be.
doing fine.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be answering. Well, what's Dean been saying? None of that bullshit. They've done a fine job the last few weeks of her mentioning, or however, like my husband. She'll never say Dean, my husband, but she will say my husband, and it's not even usually during a Seth match but my husband, and it's that's all we need. Like that reminder, like, oh yeah, Dean's married to Renee. Like we don't need Corey and Michael Cole. Like, where's his mind at right now? What's tell us what's going on. Like, no, please don't do that. For Seth and Dean's storyline's sake, and for her sake. I mean, you finally have a female commentator on Raw.
Leave her out of storylines.
Yeah, the first thing that she does shouldn't be my husband is a wrestler, and interject her into a storyline. That's the last thing that needs to be done. Anything else happen on Raw? I'm trying to think.
You guys want to talk about the sunglasses incident?
Oh, Vince Russo booking where
Yeah,
sunglasses.
Where stuff
That
happens
doesn't
and
make any
nothing's
sense.
explained. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just going to say that it didn't really make any sense. It seemed like it just came out of the blue. And for God's sake, though, just turn Ruby Riott face. She's trying, but it's just not working.
No, I'm sorry. I'm loving someone on Twitter. I'm taking this from someone on Twitter because I agree with it. And I wish I could give credit. But they said, Ruby Riott is a dirty, fucking sexy heel, and I love it.
I said when I said Vince Russo booking, like even he knows like his earlier booking. He's better now.
If they wanted to do this angle, why didn't you introduce the sunglasses at Evolution or the week before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just such a random thing to do.
There was no agency. How would the reason why that thing went over like a fart in church is because the fans in the audience had no idea what those glasses were.
Right.
And then
Even us knowing, like, dude, that happened Monday. It's Friday. Do we still know what happened? Did the match actually start? Was there a double count out? Or was the ref like, no, we're no contest. I'm not going to put Natty through this because Ruby broke her dad's glass. Like, what actually happened?
They didn't explain it. There was
nothing
no
there.
Explanation. There was no explanation for the sunglasses. There was no build for them. There was no match. And then they're broken. And Natty puts on the worst fake crying acting job that I've ever seen.
She has the worst cry.
There are actors on Lifetime who do a better job of crying than
when I used to watch Total Divas and she would do this. It's so bad. She's such a, when it comes to crying, she's such a bad actress. She tries doing the ugly cry and it just comes off of, I don't know what, but it's not good.
There was no, and WWE has this nasty habit of exploiting the deaths of family members who worked in the business. Stop it.
Well, I would almost have to say here that might have been a Natalya idea. If nothing else, you would almost have to assume it was either her idea or she signed off on it, or
right. But
like it was a way to get the new up and comers, the Riot Squad, and because that is one thing that he's good at is doing that kind of stuff.
The thing is, I don't think the Riot Squad needed it.
No.
They were coming off that victory at Evolution. Oh no, I'm sorry. The babyfaces won.
Yeah.
They're hot. They're still hot right now. There's no hotter. I don't know if it's translated in the arena, quite frankly, but I'm seeing the Riot Squad everywhere on social media.
Have you seen their ride along clips?
No, I need to though because I've heard they're just delightful.
Yes, they're hilarious together.
Ruby is a bona fide star. And I think the longer they keep going, Sarah and Liv are gelling as a tag team.
Definitely.
let's keep this momentum going. But they didn't need what happened Monday. Because what happened Monday is confusing. It stops when something like that happens in wrestling, where there's no explanation, the fans don't know how to react, it kills momentum dead.
Yeah, because there's no. You might be trying to get heat for breaking the glasses, but if after the segment people are just left scratching their head and what just happened, then nothing just happened.
You've killed any that you could have done. Like I said, you've all heard the literary notion of Chekhov's gun. If something is introduced in the first act, it has to be used by the end of the third act.
What in the hell is that? It sounds like somebody's getting attacked by a tiger.
It sounds like somebody's blending margaritas.
Or that too. It might be AA refilling.
It sounds like Matt falling out of a chair.
Matt,
Yeah.
are you falling out of your chair?
No, I just sat in my chair.
But you've all heard of that notion of if something's introduced in somewhere in the first act, it has to be introduced by the end of the third act. What WWE did on Monday was introduce something in the beginning of the story, and before they could get to the next act, they already killed whatever it was.
Yeah, there was no third act. It was just
There was no second act.
that's when we didn't even get that far. Like that, there was the entire play was all one act and nothing came of it.
If they
Was it even an act?
Well, you know what they really should have done if they really wanted to do something like this? Have Natty start coming out in his glasses within a couple weeks after his passing. So
Yeah, build up to it.
So at the very least, when we get to this point, we see Natty in the glasses, we have that connection to her father, and then Ruby breaks the glasses.
Yes.
The
Payback for them going over at Evolution or something of something.
The crowd would have popped. The crowd would have lost their shit. Because then at least they would have had months of build and months of familiarity with Natty in the glasses.
Yeah. There would have been something there like, oh my God, I can't believe she just broke.
And then immediately afterward, have Ruby cut a promo saying, I know how much those glasses meant to you. I saw you come out every day. I know what your father meant to you. And after Evolution, when you beat us, I wanted to hurt you. I wanted to break you, just like I broke those glasses. Holy
shit. And I will break you.
And I will break you. This isn't over. Oh my God, the crowd would have been salivating. And guess what? People would actually be excited for a Natty match.
There's a first time for everything.
And that's no disrespect. I don't mean that in disrespect. It's that she is such a low baseline with the crowd that had you done that and had that interaction and had that emotional attachment, not just for Natty, but for the fans would have been immediately invested and you could have had something to go with.
Natty would have actually started getting crowd reactions Monday.
Right. I mean, yes, it's sympathy, but baby faces need sympathy. Yeah. That's how it works. So that's what you need to do. That's what they should have done. Because then you could spin off what happened at Evolution into a singles feud. And then
let Sarah and Liv feud with Sasha and Bayley.
More. Yes, that's not the most attractive option for those four, but it's what we have right now.
Yeah, it's at least there. At least you get 2 matches out of it instead of 1.
Right, and at least you have something you can put on a pay-per-view.
Like if we're leading towards a women's tag team, like we're gonna have to start building up tag teams.
Right. And
oh God, speaking of,
just say it.
Oh, Nia Jax turned again with Tamina.
And they
She's outpacing Big Show now by the turns.
hey, look, everybody, it's Team Can't Walk. I'm sorry. This Tamina
But-
can't walk. Her
Excuse me.
knees are shot.
The only reason I get it is if we are headed towards a women's tag team.
That's the only thing that makes sense here.
Yeah,
it really
but-
is.
Oh my, like how, because this was taped in the UK, so you could read spoilers before it aired. I read that out. I just started laughing. Like, wow.
You guys comment on Nia and Tamina. I really can't. I don't understand.
Neither do I. The only way, like I said, the only way I can is if it's tag team in the future. Hey, you with us?
I'm here.
she outside of the Dean stuff, let's just say AA is not really into Raw at the moment.
I can't honestly blame her. But as a sidebar, when you mentioned Nia, it just popped in my head. Are you guys as concerned as I am currently with the Alexa Bliss situation?
Yeah, because
it's
that-
weird because I thought she had returned to the ring on a house show like the week before.
She did, but she didn't take any bumps.
Ah,
She never got in the match or anything.
go ahead.
There's noise in the background, and I apologize. This thing with Alexa has taken a very concerning turn. If they are potentially wanting to put her in an authority role.
Yeah, I read that, saw that rumor.
If that is the case, I'm now immediately concerned that her injuries are starting to concern the company.
They're
Yeah, I
starting
think
to add up.
so. It has to be a very serious injury.
She is only 27, you guys. I don't know if this is a semi-retirement situation. I don't know if this is a sticker in this role for a few months, potentially, and let her heal. But we now have to be concerned about Alexa.
Yeah, as soon as on Monday when they were announcing Survivor teams, and Alexa, was captain but wouldn't partake. Like, oh shit! Okay, now we're breaking like house show. Like something's going on.
And this is immediate. We just recently got out of the woods with the concussion situation with Sasha and her post-concussion PCS, her post-concussion syndrome, which I had thoughts about that when that came out, and my head was spinning like, why are we even letting her near the ring right now? But if she's cleared, she's cleared. Like I said, I think we now have to keep an eye on Alexa because this is serious. If they are keeping her away from the ring.
And without any like real reports, that's where you always know, or one of the main things you look at is, and when I say reports, I mean things from Alexa, things from WWE, not a jackass behind a keyboard spouting shit off.
Meltzer.
but you've got the less you hear about something for a while, the more concerned, and then when you see them, at house shows like a week and a half ago, but they're not actually, they can't take any bumps or it's getting to the point, or it's at the point of concernment.
But outside of that, is there really anything else from Raw you guys want to cover?
Hey.
Alcohol and pain meds are not a good combination.
Oh, you stay awake for us.
I'm staying awake. But just warning all the kiddies out there, don't do it. Unless you're a professional like me.
Or me. Do not try this at home. We are professionals. We have been trained.
We all know that's a lie.
On what?
There was no training involved here.
Isn't, like, when you've been doing it for years, like, doesn't that count as training?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I didn't bust my ass day in and day out for all those years for me to be called a rookie.
Let's just move on to SmackDown there, bro.
SmackDown, it happened.
But another reminder, AA is not really happy with WWE at the moment.
The thing with SmackDown is that it is a straight down the middle show. Because on one hand, every match on the show is good, which is rare. Like, every match on the show was really good or great. The problem with SmackDown was that the friggin' Miz was in every single segment. He would not get off my TV.
Some people would call that a good night there, Matt.
That made it just awesome.
I mean, it was awesome turning the channel a bunch of times.
How many times did you have to change the batteries in your remote? SmackDown was good.
Yeah,
it was good. It's SmackDown is just lapping Raw at this point.
And speaking of more, just real quick before we get into a brief ins and outs of SmackDown, somebody else that's out hurt in different reports coming out is Selena Vega. Apparently got hurt when Nia Jax, of all people, threw her over the top rope onto other people.
Yeah, I heard her head bounced off the floor.
good.
And a concussion situation.
Yeah.
I hope she gets better, because she is the motor right now that's driving Almas.
Oh yeah, like she is back in 2014 NXT, 2015 main roster, and Lana with Rusev.
We have two captains, I believe, on the.
I know one, and
Survivor Series
I want Matt to name the other one. One is Daniel Bryan. Matt, I can't remember who's the other captain for the SmackDown Survivor Series team. I can't remember who.
He's the Miz. He's the Miz, and I hope to God that Team Raw wins.
There is a lot of hatred coming from you, Padawan.
Let the hate flow, my child. Let the hate flow. Are they trying to turn the Miz babyface?
I hope
Maybe.
to God they don't, because it worked so well the last time they did that.
He hasn't been a babyface in what?
5 years?
5
13?
years? 6 years?
Either 12 or 13, or maybe a combination of both.
I mean, if we were putting a clock on it, it might be a little past due. But
Yeah.
he's such a good heel that I personally wouldn't turn him. But this whole
it would be like WWE to turn Becky Lynch heel and the Miz face.
Becky ain't no heel. She's just speaking the truth. We'll get to Becky Lynch being the hottest thing on the roster in a minute, but
maybe it's just a plan for the Miz to lull Daniel Bryan like into a trap or something.
And why do they have to interject Shane and everything?
Oh God!
Because he's a McMahon.
He's a Helmsley brother-in-law.
He's a McMahon.
Bad joke. Yeah, that's why he went over it. That stupid show Friday. Like that, just nepotism at its finest, folks. And I feel the same. Did I lose everybody?
I'm still here.
Okay. Oh, I thought AA accidentally hit the exit button and canceled the show. Why? I feel the same way about Shane being on my screen like I do being on his. Not that many segments, not that many. Like if my off shit, I'm all for it. Let's these backstage segments real quick.
If you want to just do a rundown, go right ahead.
Who's all on the SmackDown team? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well,
Miz and Daniel are co-captains.
Mysterio's on there as well, I think. I think Joe's on there as well.
Yeah, there's 4 heels and a face. Because Daniel Bryan's the only face on the SmackDown team.
Yeah, that's going to go over well. I can already book that match. Oh, that's going to be a train wreck.
Oh, we found out during Raw and SmackDown that there's going to be, or maybe we found out on SmackDown, there's going to be a tag team Survivor Series match too.
Which
It's the old Survivor Series, where there was a reason for it.
I guess you might as well ask the question right now since we're on the topic. Is Survivor Series even a Big Four pay-per-view for you guys anymore?
Not for me.
Well, Survivor Series is. Bragging Rights isn't. It's Bragging Rights now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it's become, unfortunately. I miss when Survivor Series used to do standalone storylines.
You have these 4 guys who didn't like these 4 guys, and they settled it in the ring.
The 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match used to be something you built towards and you took time with. Survivor Series used to be special
and fun.
Now it's a run-of-the-mill pay-per-view that they put no thought in.
Throw teams together, and then the non-Survivor Series matches are champion versus champion. Like Matt said, bragging rights. Like it's Uh, just for namesake, I'd still consider it maybe a big four, but in reality, it's not. It's like if I had, for instance, like a Money in the Bank or Survivor Series to watch, I'm watching Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think even though I have my issues with excuse me,
Or Elimination Chamber, either one, Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber. I'd rather watch either one of those than Survivor Series. If this is how they're going to do Survivor Series,
yeah, just back to SmackDown. We once again have proof that Becky Lynch is the man. She has never been hotter from a wrestling standpoint.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
Although this newfound Becky, this edge to her, does add a little bit of attractiveness to the character for me, but that's beside the point. She's never been on better on the promos, but really, when it comes to Becky Lynch, that may not be the story coming out of this SmackDown because she had a brand new opponent.
Don't you steal my thunder here.
From the Highlands of Scotland.
He's stealing my thunder.
They finally did it.
This
We don't-
mother.
Do you want to do this? Because I was on a roll. Do you want to do this?
No, we're keep going.
She is back where she belongs. Can we get rid of Eric Young? But she is back where she belongs. Nikki Cross made her SmackDown debut this past Tuesday. And then was immediately tapped out.
Well, she
Just
was
like you're-
champ, so
Just like you're immediately never going to be asked to be on the show again.
You take things too personally.
I'm just playing. But yes, Nikki Cross answered the champ. The champ wanted somebody to fight. I'm pretty sure this was.
a
I don't think
one-time
this was a one-off. I don't think it was a call-up per se. This
Yeah.
again, like we're all same building. It was in the UK. I think this was for now a one-off.
yeah, I think so too. It does feel sort of like what they did with Pete Dunne last year. Even though Nick Cross should be called up, she should be on the main
Oh.
roster now. But
She should have been called up with Sanity.
yeah,
And Sanity might be relevant if she was actually called up with them. She is what makes Sanity. Other than that, you have a Canadian and a couple big dudes. Nikki Cross made Sanity in NXT.
I said it when they got called up, and I said it when they were at their peak in NXT. Eric Young does nothing for that group.
No.
The leader of Sanity should be Nikki Cross.
In my eyes, she is.
In my eyes, too, because it's so easy to ignore Eric Young.
He's an afterthought. And nothing against Eric Young. I know Eric Young on a somewhat personal level. We've talked. I'm not a knock on his wrestling stuff. It's just he doesn't fit this role. Like he did it first, like when their debut, because it's Eric Young from TNA, and this is when they're getting everybody from everywhere. What in the hell is your brother laughing at?
Things are happening in the background, folks. I have no control what happens in this house. Please take pity on me. It's like WWE was watching TNA when Eric Young was doing his goofy falls at his own pyro.
Yeah.
The goofy, silly Eric Young, and just decided to stick with a version of that character and then have him kind of talk like a halfway version of Bray Wyatt. And then said, here's Sanity. Here's your group. When the only compelling character coming out of it has been Nikki Cross.
Yes, that was when they finally debuted. Like, she's had my attention the whole time, even before they switched it when Sully and Fulton got hurt and switched him out for Killian. Like, my focus, and not just because for but literally, like, she's been the focus of the group. She's putting on the best matches of the group. You're going by the name of Sanity, which is the reverse of, you're actually a group of insanity, insane people. She just has all you're trying to make this group be. She has it.
She draws the attention. She's the only one with a truly. I feel like Nikki is the only one who, when she's on the mic, she gets who she is. I don't get that from the other three. I'm sorry. But most importantly, she's kind of involved in NXT right now.
Yeah.
She's at the center of the Aleister Black stuff.
Another reason why I think this was just a one-off. I don't think it was a true call-up yet.
And if you've been following on Twitter, it looks like she's going to go into a program with Candice LeRae. Which, oh my God, Nikki Cross and Candice LeRae, give me now.
I guess we're just going to drop the whole Nikki Cross, Bianca Belair stuff.
I don't know, but from their social media interaction, it looks like that might be a direction they're going in.
I completely ship Aleister Black and Nikki Cross. I ship them all day.
I'm just here for the Nikki Cross, Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Give me three awesome matches, please. Please and thank you. I guess we can move on.
They announced the SmackDown Women's. What was weird, I guess, what they announced that the live crowd changed, like during the same live crowd where they, Paige is going to announce the Women's Survivor Series team, next week, and they announced it this week.
That was WWE the production getting another A+. But I will say,
hashtag Emmy.
Yeah, hashtag it ain't gonna happen. Keep dreaming, Mr. Dunn. It ain't gonna happen. But I will say, that tag match, Usos and New Day, again, putting on another banger.
Yes, for the
for the captaincy.
To be tag team captain.
Yep. Is there anything these guys, when they get together, they can't do? They're the two best tag teams in the company. Yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
New Day, Usos. Any thoughts?
Really good match, so we're par for the course for those two teams. I mean, there's not really much to say about the match or the Usos being the team captains of the SmackDown tag team SmackDown for the tag team Survivor Series match. It was a pretty good match.
And there's so much griping about, oh, we've seen this match 1,000 times. You don't hear that when it comes to New Day versus Usos.
You'll hear it from me.
Well,
That's because you know what? Go sit in the
take up all
corner.
your Becky time.
I mean, it was a good match, but there's also
Yes.
the club.
Yeah, the club.
There's other tag teams on the show.
No, apparently not, because we've got this match for the 15th time. And I'm not going to complain because all 15 matches have been spectacular.
But so Usos become captains and immediately say New Day's on the team. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because it would be dumb to leave them off.
Immediately give them credit, say, no, you're on the team.
I wonder who we know the Bar will be involved.
No, the Bar has to face.
That's right. They have to face
AOP.
Can you imagine?
AOP.
Yeah, can you imagine Big Show chasing Jerk Maverick around the ring? Little bitty old Jerk Maverick and Big Show. Can you imagine their interactions outside of the ring?
I'm here for it. I am immediately here for it. Because I can hear the Benny Hill music in my head.
Yes, that was good. Yep.
I was thinking
Damn
more
it.
Mutt and Jeff.
That's another
That
good
works
one.
too. Yes.
We are all dating ourselves with these references. But who else? I mean, it's gonna be 5 teams versus 5 teams.
Does SmackDown even have 5 tag teams?
Are they gonna dust off Breezango?
Well, Fandango's still hurt, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
That's why Tyler's been doing some matches.
Who else is there?
Yeah.
The Ascension? Wait, they're on Raw.
Yeah.
And Bludgeon Brothers, Rowan's hurt.
Rowan's hurt. You know what? I wouldn't be 100% shocked if they did one of those mystery shifts and somehow Bray shows up to Tia Tag with Harper on SmackDown.
That'd be cool.
Kill me. I don't need to see that again. But I think that might be a possibility. But yeah, they're thin, and they're thin by their own fault. Wait, which side is the Revival on?
Raw.
Do you think they might call team up?
I could see that because I think that's where the next round of call-ups.
Well, there is Sanity. This would be a great way to get Sanity some shine.
But yeah, you could do call-ups of somebody from NXT. Anything
War
else?
Raiders. No, sorry, that'd be too soon. Too soon for the War Raiders, even though I'd like to see it. That was pretty much SmackDown, wasn't it? I'm not forgetting anything, am I?
Nope.
All right, let's move.
I can't name the women's. We'll talk about all that Wednesday doing our.
Well, there was Asuka, Naomi, Sonya Deville.
Oh yeah, where Naomi literally knocked Mandy's head off. That was fun. Are we going to get a Mandy Sonya feud?
Yes. And I'm here for it.
Yep. Sonya Deville needs to be a babyface. Because She just needs to be. And Mandy would probably play the better heel, honestly, in this scenario.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna get that. It's time for Sonya Deville to go be a babyface because I think, obviously, with her personal life being public, her being an out and proud lesbian wrestler, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a want to gravitate to that.
Yeah.
For people. And I think she also needs a little bit of a gimmick change because, as people brought up, she's getting ready to be about the 6th most well-known MMA person on the main roster.
Yeah.
She's not going to be a unicorn. She's going to be a stable horse here in about 3 weeks. And no disrespect to stable horses. I'm just saying. But we're going to get that. I'm liking Naomi and Asuka as a team. That seems to be gelling well. Even though I think they both would be far better used in the single scene. I'm fine for
I think Asuka's being wasted.
I mean, well, they haven't really used the women that well on SmackDown, honestly, if we're being honest. I mean,
they really haven't.
Naomi and Asuka are kind of just paddling they're in a canoe, but they only have one paddle, so they keep going in circles. And the Iconics are just standing on the shoreline. They got nothing.
Give them something, WWE, then. Give them something.
If they're not careful, they might be given their walking papers because they have done nothing. Obviously, all of this, as you alluded to earlier, Mox, it seems like a lot of this is all leading up to the women's tag belts. But in the effort to get to that, a lot of teams are just sitting on their hands.
Did you just say they might get their walking papers?
I did.
Okay.
Don't
worry, folks. He will never be back on. It's fine. We'll get through this night together.
That was not iconic.
You know what else isn't iconic right now?
The Browns?
You know, I come out of here on the goodness out of my heart, and this is how I'm repaid. Right now, I understand that Peyton and Billy can be used in a more effective way. And they are good wrestlers.
Yeah.
Peyton more than Billy. But the way they are presented feels so 2004 that we're now at a point with the Iconics is, what do you do with them? They're worse than Ice Cold. They're not even thought of. Unless you're Metal Mad.
Well, it's easy. You put them in a feud with Becky Lynch for the title. That's what you do.
What would they do to earn it?
It's simple. Paige would just give them one right out of the blue.
Oh, joy. I can feel the hot fire off that build right now.
Would it not be a good feud? Would it not be a good feud?
Yes, if people gave a shit about the Iconics.
Then WWE needs to make people do that. When you have them cut promos all the time and they lose every single time, it's not effective.
And that's the main problem. They cut promos all the time, and right after that, lose.
Yeah.
Cut promo, lose. Cut promo, lose. Cut promo, lose.
When they showed up, they made such an impact. that you thought, okay, this is a launching point. Then they did nothing. I think they were called up just to be called up, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Because you couldn't leave them in NXT anymore. Because you so devalued them by not having one of them win that title match.
Yeah.
But that is beside the point.
Thanks, Oscar.
But as Mox alluded to earlier, we're starting to see a lot of pairings because they will be doing a women's tag belt. If I had to put money on it, it's going to be at Mania.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing.
And it'll be another Steph only creation.
Well, we must thank Stephanie McMahon for her tireless contributions to the.
Hell, I'm beginning
Art
to
of
think
women's
Stephanie
wrestling.
McMahon invented men too at this point. Like she invented wrestling and TV and the internet and
So, Mox, remember, she wants WWE to be as big as Disney.
can we just say how laughable that is?
I mean, it's always good to have goals, I suppose.
Yes, like
Yes.
I can appreciate goals.
That's
Some
not a
goal-
goal. That's
Yeah.
a fever dream.
That's like me saying, "Hey, before I die, I'm going to be a starting wide receiver or running back for the Houston Texans." That's it's
Yes.
so far from reality of ever happening.
Yes, Stephanie, you want WWE to be as big as Disney. And I want Scarlett Johansson to find me attractive. Guess what's not happening?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
Your dick, sir.
Wait, what?
Done with SmackDown, I guess.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first, Matt, with your MLW or AA? Do you want to talk some Rocky Mountain Pro?
Oh, we can talk Rocky Mountain Pro any day of the week.
Well,
I'm stoked for Rocky Mountain Pro and what they have planned for 2019.
I said Rocky Mountain Pro because I figured that'd perk you up a little bit, keep you awake for a little longer.
Yes, Rocky Mountain Pro. Rocky Mountain Pro.
I'll let you guys decide what we.
Let's
Your
let AA,
podcast.
let's let AA have her Rocky Mountain Pro time.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Rocky Mountain Pro, I will be going seeing their next event on November 17th. It's going to be taped. It's their charged episode. And they finally did it. They finally did it. They finally got Bam Bam Malone to come and debut on Rocky Mountain Pro charged. Yay. I've been wanting to see him in action for so long.
I'm super excited. I am super excited. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I didn't think it was going to happen. It's happening.
Yes, I just hope they don't put him up against Curtis Cole. I will be torn then on who to root for. Because Curtis Cole is my boy in Rocky Mountain Pro.
Rocky Mountain Pro's really starting to sign some folks. Didn't they sign 4 or 5 just for starting out on the 17th for this new charged episode?
Yes, they are. Yes, they did. And it's going to be good. It's going to be great. And also, starting in 2019, they're going to be doing charge every Thursday night.
Nice.
So when the weather's good on Thursday nights, I will be down at the quarry. Boy, am I going to be racking the miles up on my car. Because that's about an hour and a half drive.
Get you like a courier job or something where they pay you by the mileage to go back and forth.
Yeah, I just go to
You'd
support.
make
I make a what?
a killing on that.
I would. Well, it's great because there's a lot of great people there, and the wrestlers are all great people as well.
And Bam Bam Malone will be he debuts on the 17th.
The 17th of
We're
November.
gonna have him on shortly before he debuts to talk about his where he's come from, what he thinks about getting into Rocky Mountain Pro. He's well known in the South, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. He currently holds not the old pay-per-view, bad pay-per-view. He currently holds the Heroes of Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. He's pretty close to me. I don't want to actually say. I don't want to break kayfabe. Pretty close to me as far as not location, but friends. More than friends. Anyway, when I saw that, I lost my shit.
I even sent a thank you letter to Matt Yates for that.
That's nice. I may or may not be related to Bam Bam Malone. I'll leave it at that.
But you'll be able to see it will be shown live on Twitch, so you'll be able to watch it on Twitch.
Hashtag youth gone wild. Hashtag bet on Bam Bam.
Yeah.
I'm very, very curious because he plays both so well. Are they going to have him come out as a heel or a face?
I'm just curious to see who they're going to have him go up against.
Yeah, also that. And I'm with you, like, just for your sake, like, please not Cole. Please not Curtis Cole.
Not Curtis Cole. Please, not Curtis Cole. Because then I won't know who to root for.
The winner. Cheer the winner and hug the loser.
Or hug both the winner and the loser.
There you go.
Hey.
Everybody gets a hug.
Yes.
Bailey, is that you? Shut it, mister. Zip it, Zippy.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I can tell.
You're a real George Carlin there, Mox.
Oh, I can say the 7 words we're not supposed to say.
Do you think anybody over the age of 50 gets that, under the age of 50 gets that reference?
Probably not, especially since some of them you can say now.
Right.
But,
shall we move on to MLW?
Unless, you had anything else about RMP?
Nope, that's about all for RMP. They still have some other, I'll keep you updated on when new information comes out on what they have planned for 2019.
I'm super excited they're going to do a weekly show now in 2019. That's pretty awesome.
As I said, I'm going to be putting a lot of miles on my car.
I'm proud of old Mercury Matt.
Yeah, Yaden, he's come a long way.
Yeah, I mean he started this literally from
Scratch.
the bottom up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Al Snow is going to be there the 17th.
No, he's not.
Oh, then nobody gets head. That's not fair.
Al Snow will probably be back around Milestone. He'll probably be back next year.
Okay.
Yeah, Al's kind of busy, running OVW.
Well, he shows up at Rocky Mountain Pro frequently, or he was there for a while.
When he has time.
Yeah.
I think Al was also a trainer, a guest trainer, over there at the Snake Pit, which is run by D'Lo Brown.
Can anybody else say D'Lo Brown without shaking their neck? Because I can't.
D'Lo Brown.
Show off.
You are just shaking your neck with just from the alcohol and the pain pills. That's just like sorry.
That's
I'm really like Canadian. Sorry.
You
I
betcha.
started saying "you betcha" to people now.
And I did that to her grandma and Papa the other day. Like, you betcha. And they looked at me like, what'd you say? What you what? Like, you betcha. Shout out to 5. That Saskatchewan spinning nerve hold. You betcha.
Greg the Hold.
So, an episode I actually caught some of. I don't know if it's the one. Surely it was MLW this week.
Okay, so this week it was okay. It definitely felt like a filler episode a little bit. They were still continuing their Fury Road programming. The first match was Puma King making his MLW debut, defeating Ricky Martinez after a confrontation between Conan and Selena de Arenta.
Conan's barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't be the first time.
True.
Then we have Brody King versus Tommy Dreamer in a hardcore match. Well, maybe not.
Why does Tommy Dreamer continue to insist on wrestling?
I'm not sure. Like, this wasn't a great match. Honestly, it really wasn't.
Yeah, this and we did watch the same episode, by the way. Tommy Dreamer here, and there's some memes going around from this episode on Twitter. Dude, Consuela, no.
The only thing holding Tommy Dreamer together is duct tape and crazy glue. He needs this, and he's also a concussion away from being a vegetable. Stop. Tommy, we all appreciate what you've given to the business.
But you can stop now.
You can stop now. Because it ain't worth it.
Train, dude. You can still contribute to the business without doing what he's doing to himself.
His House of Hardcore promotion tours everywhere. So it's not like he isn't having success elsewhere in the business.
Yeah.
He runs a fairly successful promotion.
Yeah, and I can definitely see why he would want to try and help someone like Brody King.
But
yeah, and that's where when it comes to wrestlers and as they get older, there's some genuine. You just have to know, and some for a fact, like they want to help the younger guys. They want to help the industry, and they want to do it so bad that they're doing things they shouldn't be doing to benefit the future, if that makes sense at all. which apparently it doesn't.
I mean, no, I understand the want to give back. Because that's how all those guys are. They want to give back.
To go back to that piece of shit Friday show, that main event, that helped. There were no young guys in that. That helped nobody. There might have been, their paycheck may have been bigger, but there was no recurring. There's nothing that anybody younger got out of that match.
Yeah, what happened?
See, what had happened was
right. What happened to Crown Jewel was the opposite of what happened in MLW. Crown Jewel was about 4 old guys needing to have another main event. And the MLW was a guy wanting to help an up-and-comer. Even though Brody King's been around a minute.
And a lot of people don't even know what the hell MLW is.
Right.
Or where to find it. Or it was a genuine thing.
Promotion.
Yeah. Like it wasn't a payday. It wasn't a...
Tommy doesn't need the money. I mean, he doesn't. I believe Tommy's a guy who saved his money.
I
would hope so.
Maybe in the last few years, but there was a time where Tommy was not that, how do I put this?
Wasn't in the best way
with his spending. But once he, like you say, he has HOH now, and
well, now that he was in ECW, the land of bouncing checks.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's also, but also that's true. But also, we have to remember that was almost 30 years ago. 25. He was a wrestler.
Say, don't push it to 30. Come on now. You're making me feel.
it's coming, Mox.
Shut your face.
Let's not forget, he did have to go through all that shit in ECW. But let's not forget, he wrestled for WWE for 7 or 8 years. He was also an agent in both WWE and TNA.
Yeah, and okay, the checks may have bounced in ECW. We wouldn't know Tommy Dreamer if it wasn't for ECW.
Right. He was able to get those other opportunities because of ECW.
Yes. And I think, not to speak for the man, but he would take some of those bounce checks. So all these many years later, we know Tommy Dreamer because of ECW.
Right. And I think over the years he has been fairly compensated for his work. So it's not like he's someone out there chasing a paycheck.
Yeah. Looking at you, Virgil.
I just got really sad.
Hey, it was... Sometimes since there was no Ruthless Aggression Era podcast, somebody had to be ruthless tonight. And it just so happened to be me.
Did you guys see that video of Scott Hall trolling Virgil at one of his signings? It's just
recently, or from a few years ago.
Maybe from a few years ago. But Scott was looking more upright.
He's all by himself.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Jesus. It's like, why are you going to do it to the man's face? All right. Did you at least give him a buck?
That's fuck money. Every buck he gets is fuck money.
He
What else
doesn't.
happened on MOW?
Well, the main event was the Hart Foundation taking on, I believe, ACH, Rich Swan, and Marco Stunt.
Am I the only one shocked that Teddy Hart got back into the wrestling business?
I was surprised at first, yeah. I still loved a few weeks ago when he showed up on Total Divas and they showed up at Natalia's house.
What
And
they
they-
call him?
Natty's friend.
Natty's friend. It's like, oh, that's her cousin. Like, for shit.
And they obviously didn't call him Teddy Hart. They just, Ted Hart, Natty's friend. Hey, what the?
You know that was WWE going, please make no mention of this man being related to Natty.
Yeah. Oh, somebody needs some more daiquiris. This match I didn't watch. This is where I had to cut off, so I don't know what happened in the main event.
It was definitely the best match on the show.
Of course, that's how it always works for me.
But yeah, Marco Stunt just got annihilated by the Hart Foundation. The finish was like a power bomb blockbuster combo.
Nice. This is only like the second stunt match I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude can bump like nobody's business.
Yeah.
But the two I've seen him in, like, he doesn't really get a lot of offense in, so I can't really grade his wrestling ability. But he will damn sure bump. I don't know if you watch it tonight or if you're going to wait for the weekend.
I haven't gotten a chance to yet tonight because I was working tonight. So
Yeah, that's you know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah, I know you're talking about. Tonight, Marco Stunt took on Myron Reed, I believe.
No, I was usually on Fridays. You watch MLW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happened on MLW tonight.
But I was referring to Lucha Underground.
Lucha.
Oh, I was able to watch like the first half of Ultima Lucha Quattro. Right now I'm on Mundo and Matanza.
For those that you haven't watched, or for those that haven't watched, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there better be a season 5 coming out of this shit.
Yeah, they have a couple things to explain.
Yes. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Shut up, Adam.
That wasn't me.
I was trying to do a Ricky Ricardo laugh, and I don't think
You failed miserably.
Yeah, I did.
Well, Rice's icon lit up. I thought it was Rice making fun of me.
Lucy, what happened to you?
I'm not going to do a Lucille Ball, so someone else is going to have to. And Allie said she was the one drinking.
It's not a VWP episode unless it just falls off the rails.
Yeah, it hasn't fallen off the rails that much tonight.
No, we're rapidly approaching. AA, have you seen part 1 and part 2?
I've seen bits and pieces, but I do know what you're referring to.
Yes. I
When
told
they-
you last year. I
Yeah, I know you did.
I know you. Isn't that a song?
You mean I know, 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 I know.
Or, you have a record that's skipping or something? A CD skipping?
No, there is a song out. I forgot
Ah.
who sang it, but it's in the song, and he's actually going, I know, I know, I know, I know, and it's because he forgot the words to the song, and they just kept it in there and became a hit.
Oh, you're talking about Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone?
Yes. I know. I know. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Now it's off the rails.
See, I told you it was rapidly approaching. I told you. We went into Wing, shout out Wing, karaoke shit. Like, just real quick. I knew it was coming.
I just want to take a quick moment.
Oh, good grief. An hour later.
Thanks. Thank you. I was wanting to do it at the beginning of the show, but we wanted to get right into things. I want to take a brief moment to mention the passing of Jose Lothario, who passed away earlier this week at the age of, I believe, 86.
Yes.
For those who remember, Jose Lothario is the man who's given credit for training Shawn Michaels. We all remember was that the first Brett Michaels match where he was in Michaels' corner for the title?
I thought it was the second. I might be wrong. It was either the first or it was one of the first two at least, yes.
Because I'm trying to remember if he was out there for the Iron Man match.
I think he was.
Lothario, for those who don't know of his career, was a territory star.
Yes.
Who was majorly over in Houston. Also wrestled in Louisiana, Florida. Was a 7-time Louisiana / tri-state champion, which was the secondary title to the Mid-South belt. He tagged with the likes of Pepper Gomez, Joe Scarpa, who would later become Chief J Strongbow. And at one point in his career, he had lost 500 consecutive matches. So he had highs and lows. But he
Kurt Hawkins, you have your work cut out for you.
Absolutely. Kurt Hawkins, I'll know what losing's like. But he was one of the major Hispanic stars of his time.
Yes.
Our thoughts are with his family.
Absolutely. I was fortunate enough to by the time in the early 80s at Gillies in Pasadena, Texas, a suburb of Houston, he never actually wrestled per se, but he was at on a couple of cards at a couple of shows. And he had a smile that just was captivating. Really nice guy, really, from what I remember, like just really cool dude.
Towards the end of his career, the business took its toll, but he made a living on a punch and selling.
I remember 2 cards specifically where he was, just in the corner of somebody, but he would get involved, but he wouldn't do, like, he didn't have a match per se.
I mean, just everybody remembers him for training Michaels. And from my understanding, that relationship wasn't the greatest. Because let's be honest, who really did get along with Pillhead Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, I was gonna.
But he was more than just the trainer to one of the greatest of all time. He was a star. He did so much for those around him. He ended up being inducted, I believe, into the NWA Hall of Fame. But like I said, Jose Lothario passed away at the age of 86.
Yeah.
Our thoughts are with him and his family. And
Godspeed, sir.
Godspeed. And the business world keeps turning, and the business loses another one. And the world turns, and we're on to the next big thing. I think we are 2 weeks out from what feels like Survivor Series is really close.
Yeah.
Isn't Survivor Series not this Sunday, but next Sunday?
Yeah, it's next Sunday.
So
Not
yes,
this Sunday, but next Sunday.
so we're about
We have to-
roughly a week out.
Yeah, we have to lull through Survivor Series predictions Wednesday. Great.
Is there anything else anybody wants to touch on from the world of wrestling?
I don't think so. I think we covered most of it.
Yeah, I think we have.
Bet on Bam Bam. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. There's some little things here and there and rumors and stuff that I think it's gone on long enough that, for one, we really don't discuss. Like, again, the deck has behind the keyboard stuff. So yeah, I think we're good. Hey, I did the intro. Who's doing the outro? AA.
Well, let's see. Where can we find everyone? Mr. Adam Rice, where can people get a hold of you?
If any of you out there wish to contact me for whatever reason, you can find me at
Hate mail.
if you wish to send your hate mail, please redirect it to Prince Moxley Lopez at Fireman. I'm not even going to try.
You were looking at my Twitter name, asshole.
I almost did, and I just said I'm too lazy. If you wish to send anything my way, you can find me at PWFan01 on Twitter. Giant Ohio State logo is my picture.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, it's about as much bullshit as you know what? I'm even going to try to make a.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm not even going to try to make a pun, folks. I'm just going to say go Will Greer, and
I can't stand your ass.
And if you wish to, and I'm also over at KHIC under my name, Adam Rice. If anybody wants to have a conversation there. Thanks again for inviting me. You know, I'm always in the bullpen. Should anybody need someone to ramble on incoherently for a few hours.
Don't worry, folks. He'll never be invited again.
Yes, he will. He'll be invited quite a few times, actually.
Yeah, probably Wednesday for Survivor Series predictions.
Hey, Mox, who am I rooting for this week against Texas?
You shut your WHORE mouth.
You're damn right.
Shut it right.
You're damn right.
Right, man.
I get paid for using this mouth.
You zip it, Zippy.
Yeah.
And Metal Matt, where can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at MetalMatt15 and hang out in KCIC, hang out on a daily and a nightly. Tonight we took a look at an official Sabbath album, Heaven and Hell is the Devil You Know. That was a great album. Final album that Ronnie James Dio ever did. And Ruthless Aggression Era podcast, we were supposed to do it tonight. I ended up getting called into work, so we weren't able to. So hopefully soon, me and the AA will be able to do Backlash 2004.
Oh boy, do I got some comments on that.
Oh,
We
Heaven and hell. That's mine and Adam's relationship.
I'm having.
And Mox,
Oh.
how can they get a hold of you?
Oh, usually I say please don't, but at Fireman6809 on Twitter, on KSI Seats, Prince Moxley Lopez, daily, sometimes nightly. I run the KSI Seats Fantasy Football, which Adam doesn't like talking about because the Browns suck.
I don't have any Browns players on my team, so you can bite me.
See, that joke makes itself. Your team sucks so bad that you know not to have any players on your team.
It's called being smart.
Well,
Finish
welcome to
it.
the first one in Ohio to do that.
You know what? Just finish your outro.
You know what? We'll see you Wednesday, Adam.
Yeah.
And that's about. I don't want to give up too much. Like, am I supposed to give my social security number? Or?
No, that's
No,
Wait,
that's
I
where you
need to
can
get a
find
pen.
Where can they find you, AA?
You can find me on Twitter at Lady Roshana. That's LadyRoschana. You can find me on Cage Side Seat at Ambrose Alley. And you can find me on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast. And that's wrestling with no G.
And same with our Twitter handle. Without the podcast at the end, our Twitter handle is Violent Wrestling with no G at the end.
Just because
so
it
you
wouldn't fit.
Yeah, it was too long. So you can send all
that's what she
like
said.
whatever. I was waiting. I thought Adam would say it, but here comes Matt. That way you can send like all the hate mail that we will forward to Adam for his bad takes on everything.
They're not bad takes. They're not bad takes, everybody. Mox is unfamiliar with this concept, but what they are called is the right answer.
Sir, your take on the Iconics was not acceptable.
Yeah, well,
I wanted to rant more this episode, but since it's not Wednesday earlier in the night and it's Friday and later in the night,
And you're
I didn't
freezing
rant
your
as much
ass off.
Yes, it is fucking cold. I had some other things I wanted to rant about, but talking about this past week, but that's neither here nor there. Who else do we have to shout out?
We got to send a shout out to Shooting Debris and to Two Guys, One Sport and to Connoisseurs of Wrestling, to the Ruthless Aggression Era podcast, to Grounds for Development.
just want to say real quick, I know I speak for everybody when I say congratulations to Shooting the Breezes and the Connoisseurs of Wrestling's Legends Lover, who just this week got a set bill of 7 years cancer-free.
Nice.
She's still in remission. They made the announcement on Two Guys, One Sport. So congratulations to LL. That's a big deal.
That's a very big deal.
Nice. Keep it going, LL.
Yes.
Now I lost my train of thought.
Oh, Lockout Wrestling, Thursdays at 11 Eastern. Surprised you didn't lose your train of thought a long time ago. Hey, excuse me.
Hey, I can sometimes stay on the rails.
This is where we'll talk about this off the air. But Matt's like, do you guys really need me that much? Like, yes, we do. Because you and I sidetrack so much. Big shout out. Thank you, Adam. I know you were supposed to stay at the normal time yesterday when it got postponed. And you still showed up today. Thank you so much. It was a joy talking to you. We really appreciate it. I know you and I do not like each other.
Oh,
kayfabe.
Gotta keep the kayfabe, folks.
But we do really appreciate you joining in and giving your view of things, even though a couple of them are wrong.
Once again, like many geniuses in their time, they thought they were wrong when they were right.
Sir, if you still think you're a mini genius, that's a discussion we'll have off air. You're a grown ass man.
I'm allowed my delusions, sir.
Fair enough. So from me, I say peace. Anybody else have parting words?
Take care, everybody. See you next violent time, next violent same violent channel. Or is that same violent time, same violent channel?
You'll get it right eventually.
Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. For those of you who have a 3-day weekend, enjoy yourselves.
Oh, happy Veterans Day. We'll be on after Veterans Day. So thank you, veterans, for everything you do to protect, serve us, and make sure that you keep us safe.
Thank you for your service.
Yes. Happy Veterans Weekend and Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
We thank you.
Happy Veterans Day.
Special shout out to the Taker's Minion, veteran himself. Thank you for your service. And thank you to all the other veterans out there.
And with that, we're going to say good night, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
See ya.